Board game, believe it or not.
All right. Round 4 comes to me for the old Believe It or Not segment, the award-winning Believe It or Not segment. And so what we do in this segment is I'm going to come up with, I've got a whole bunch of them here. You're going to have to pick a number between 1 and 12. Ooh. I've got real games. I've got games that I've made up. And I'm going to go ahead and say a game title, a year that it came out, and a brief description. We're going to send it around the board. Everybody's going to say whether they believe that game is real or whether they don't believe it at all. And if they are correct, they get a point. If I fool 2 of these jokers, I get a point. Usually I don't get very many good points, but it makes for some fun conversation. So we're going to start it with, as we usually do, the man in the orange corner, comprised entirely of Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal. We're going to Chris. Pick a number between 1 and 12 there, Chris.
All right, I'm going to go with what I am, number 1.
Number 1, all the way back to number 1. All right. How many of you have heard of the game Millie Born? Everybody heard of it?
No. I always call it Miles Born, but sure.
Miles Born? Well, I think in French it's actually Millie Bien. Well, Millie Born came out in 1954. A sequel to it came out in 1977 called Millie Bien Again, which is kind of funny because we say Millie Born. So Millie Born Again. Again means encore. Again? Or again. Yes. So it's Millie Born Again. There you go.
It's a Christian game. He's born again.
Oh,
but it's a
Millie's been born again.
That's right. In 1977, a sequel to the classic game Millie Born. This iteration features updated vehicles and road artwork and can now facilitate up to 8 players. I think the first one only went to 5 or 6.
So a party game.
Millie Born Again. It's a party game by definition to some of you. Millie Born Again, 1977. Chris, what do you think?
Okay, so is this like a French thing that like a Formula Day where it means something? Because like I hear a person's name and like the way you said it was as if it was some sort of IP I should heard of before. And like, I think you're just saying gobbledygoo.
Have you never heard of the game Millie Born?
No.
Oh, are you serious?
No.
It's like a classic old card game where you're
the only thing I've ever heard of is Millie Vanilli.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's Millie Born, which in French it's Millie Bien.
Yes,
and then in French it's Millie Bien Again, but in English it's Millie Born Again.
So. Okay, so I assume it's the second one that we're doing since you've said the first one actually does exist.
Everybody knows Millie Born is a game.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta believe in people being born again. So I'm gonna say it is. It's
a believe it. He's a believer.
I'm a believer.
He's a believer. Andy, what say you, buddy?
Well, so again, is it really pronounced Millie? I thought it was Miles Born. Isn't it a racing game?
Yes, it's Millie Bien.
Miles, like you go miles.
No, that's not how it's pronounced. That's probably what it means in French, but no, that's not how it's.
And second of all, your French accent is cultural appropriation, and I don't approve.
I'm French. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
And German.
German.
Taisman.
Right.
That's right.
1/4 French. Thank you very much.
I don't believe it's a game. I do not. So, but I do think that Millie Born Again should be the next parody that we do about a big tent revival.
Well, maybe it'll be possible. Maybe not. We'll find out.
Racing Daniel, to the altar.
What do you say, buddy?
Oh, I like that.
I'm going to go with true.
To the altar.
I'm going to go with true because if you made something that up from something so obscure and then you thought we would actually know what that was, it just seems even more ridiculous. So no, this is totally real.
It's not that obscure of a game. It was a card game that was around as kids.
So who here has heard of Millie Born?
You've asked us that already.
So you really haven't heard of it? Wow.
I really not. Like I was confused.
Yeah. That's weird.
I made this up because I thought Millie Born Again sounded funny. So yes, this is.
Thank you.
Oh gosh.
Dang it.
Suckers.
That was ridiculous, John.
That's hilarious. I can't believe you guys call yourself gaming enthusiasts and never heard of Millie Born. Okay. Andy, when you pick a number between 1 and 12, please, sir.
Race to the altar and avoid
the
pits.
Pits. 1 and 11 now.
The pit stops of hell. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go with number 2. Who does number 2 work for?
Oh, number 2. So that'll be easy to find. All right. Here we go. Here it is. Duran Duran Into the Arena from 1985. Who's heard of Duran Duran? Let's start from there. Okay, thank you. My gosh, I don't know who I'm dealing with here today.
I heard of Millie Vanilli, so
yes. Players move around the board trying to collect all 5 matching matching pair of disc tiles featuring Duran Duran single titles. So basically it looks like a little record. They then try to collect a band member tile for each of the 5 band members. Sounds exciting. It's like there's like an inner circle and an outer circle. You go around the outer circle to collect the singles, then you go in the inner circle to collect the band members. First one to do so wins. Duran Duran into the arena really makes you feel like you're at a Duran Duran concert, doesn't it? Andy, what do you think, buddy? Did this really come out in 1985?
Well,
believe it or not?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, and I guess I'm not a real Duran Duran fan, which was a nice alliteration, by the way.
Not bad.
Did they have enough singles to have this game exist?
I am a Duran Duran fan. Are you kidding me? Yes, they had huge amounts of singles.
They were
wild boys.
I think this game would never have been made because it's too niche and it's too complex for the time period. So I'm going to say that is a falsity.
That is a not believe from Andy. Daniel, what say you to Duran Duran? Do you want to go into the arena?
Yeah. So you said, well, one, the pun is really fun. Duran into the arena. I Duran into the arena. I hope everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's what they were going for.
No,
also, this was on the cusp of the Pog Wait, you didn't pick up on that pun? Who knows a pun?
Not a pun.
Who knows what puns are? Okay.
Who's Duran? Who's duh?
Arena is the name of a Duran Duran live album. So Duran Duran into the arena is
a pun.
It is not.
Anyway, it would be if it was I ran into the arena.
No, well, regardless,
live show in Iran.
Pogs, you're collecting Pogs, so it seems about the right time that this would have came out. Pogs. So yeah, you said discs. They're Pogs, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Pogs, they're Pogs. I saw the game. Okay.
Since when do discs
equal Pogs? He thinks he knows the game.
No.
So what are you saying? You're saying believe it or not believe it?
I believe it.
Oh, okay, so you believe it. So we got to believe and a not believe. Chris, am I going to get a point here or not? What do you got?
I'm going to. I think you have to by default, right? Because they both.
No, I have to fool 2 of you. They both disagree.
That's fair. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna say it's real because it sounds like a game from the '80s, which were all parties and stupid. So they were just robbing the IP, trying to move some units to make a couple of bucks. So yeah.
So that's a party game to you.
If it doesn't take any thought and it's stupid and just a money grab like Challengers, correct.
That game is real. I saw it online one time and I was like, no way. They made a game about Duran Duran. I got to look at this. And I'm like, I'm never getting that hot garbage. That sounds boy, what's this now? Now I'm losing points. That's ridiculous. All right.
Our judge behind the scenes told us that our judge behind the scenes told us that he accidentally awarded you 2 points. So he's taking
Yes. I know that.
Well, no, but the listening audience does not know. So
they don't need to know. Wow. They just need to know I'm getting ripped off.
The listening audience doesn't see the numbers at all. So,
Daniel, what say you, buddy? Between 1 and 10.
Let's go with 5.
5. All righty then. Here, 5 is Renegade Rainbow. Came out in 2007. Players take on the roles of generic girls' toys like Flower Patch Kids, Colorful Pony, Strawberry Streusel. However, while most players are concentrating on accomplishing fun tasks like saving a cat stuck in a tree or finding a lost bicycle, the Renegade is trying to upset the plans. Identify the Renegade before they ruin Crystal City forever.
Wow.
What do you think,
torn on this because that's such a guy premise, where you have this trader and gonna bust stuff up, but it's all like rainbows and flowers and crystal land. And also there's enough innuendos in there that also concern me that if you didn't make this up, I don't even know what to think of this, John. You've rocked my world.
That's what I try to do.
I know. I'm gonna go with hurricane. I'm gonna go with real. Because I don't think you could have made that
a believer. Chris, what say you, buddy?
I'm not going to believe it because this sounds like a game that's worthy of an IP cash grab because it just sounds really bad. So since there is no IP, I'm going to say it's not real.
Chris says no IP, no believe.
That's right.
Andy, what about you, buddy?
I'm not gonna say it's real either because I don't like girly stuff, which means I must be a supporter of the patriarch.
So what are you saying? You're saying a not believe?
Not believe.
Not believe. Renegade Rainbow was the name of a game that my son came up with but the game description he came up with was not something we should do on the show. I'll have to tell you guys that. That'll be for the Patreon subscribers only.
Oh my gosh.
Boy.
But it was not real.
Woo!
So, yeah, I had to think to come up with that one, but I love the title. I'm like, I got to use that title. That title's great. So
Nice.
all right, we're gonna do one more, maybe. One more.
Right.
Chris, what do you say, buddy? 1 through 9.
I'll go with 3.
3. Wow, we're getting all these early ones out. All right, so right here before Renegade Rainbow, we've got Envelopes of Cash from 2022, where players square off as rival college football programs, trying to attract the most coveted high schoolers to join their teams. Gameplay is driven by a card draft whereby players can acquire new personnel, build new facilities, strengthen their culture, among other things. But the most valuable asset in the game are envelopes of cash, whose value is determined by a dice roll at the start of the round. Chris, what do you think? Envelopes of cash. Is that a believe or not believe?
I'm going to say I don't believe because it sounds too much like a satirical joke about the NCAA and playing their players. But if it is real, I want to play this.
Okay.
This sounds fun and exciting if it is real.
So Chris does not believe. Andy, do you believe it or not?
What year did this allegedly come out?
2022, last year.
And the name again?
Are you going to look it up?
No, I'm not. I just want to remember.
Envelopes of cash.
It was that unmemorable that I couldn't even remember what you just said. It was that bland. And you know what? Because of that, I'm going to say it actually is a game, because there's a lot of dumb games that come out that are bland. Sorry to the creators and designers of that game. Maybe it's amazing, but I'm going to say it's true.
If it is real, like you got the worst name ever. Like it doesn't tell you anything about the game. Like it's not like
right.
Yeah. So
we got to believe and a no believe. It's all up to Daniel whether I get a point or not.
No,
Daniel,
this is fabricated. I think it is clever, but with it being the year 22, this game would have been all over the place. People would have been laughing about it, joking about it. It would have been everywhere because it's funny. Good job, John. You made a funny game.
Well, this game would have been all over and everywhere if it didn't look like absolute trash, because this is a real game that came out in 2022.
wow.
It really is. It looks like hot garbage. When I looked at it, I was just kind of looking at low-rated games, and this one popped up, and I was like, Envelopes of Cash? That sounds cool. I thought maybe a gangster theme or something, and I'm reading it. I'm like, with the nil money thing, this kind of out of date now, but I thought it was a pretty interesting thing. But
wow.
So. All right.
I love how the name apparently excited you. Like I'm the old man. I'm the one that plays games that are named after cities and stuff like that. Envelopes of Cash is the least exciting name I have ever heard.
I was so disappointed when I actually looked into the Duran Duran game and the Envelopes of Cash game, because I had such high hopes for both, but they both.
And it's still ranked 10 almost over 10,000 better than what effectively challenges of War, because this ranked 14,478.
There you go.
Better than War.
Maybe we'll get it. All right.
See if I can find it.
Well, that wraps up our latest edition of Believe It or Not. Did any of you believe those? Let us know what you thought of those games in the comments. And if you would play any of those fake games, what do you think about that? Millie Born Again and what was that? Renegade Rainbow. Let's get that one made. Or out. We'll get the one that my son came up with made.
Millie Born Again is going to be the parody on the next show.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you for watching this clip from Around the Board. If you'd like to watch the full episode, please click on the link down below. Around the Board is essentially a game show featuring 4 board game enthusiasts that discuss board game topics and news in a competitive format. Whoever wins gets to talk about whatever he wants at the end of the show. So please join us, won't you, Around the Board.